You know, it legitimately kills me that I have not just one single 1 hour take that I did where I thought I was recording, but now another 30-minute take where I thought I was recording. However, at this point, I think I've drilled in the topics that I want to talk about so much, and I'm so determined to get these points across now that I've even interpolated exactly the pentameter and like step of how it is that I want to speak. It's gonna be like a poem now. No, it's not. We are playing a very important game in my personal repertoire. I'm very excited.
In a world covered by endless water, people are forced to eke out a living on the small patches of land that remain above the sea. The people of this world rely on ancient technology driven by quantum refractors, a powerful energy source. These refractors lie in ancient ruins underground and in the sea, and are sought out by explorers called diggers. These brave explorers are the sole source of refractor energy, which has become a cornerstone of the emerging civilizations. Originally, this was the diggers' only purpose, to find refractors so that civilization might endure. However, over the years, the story of a fabulous treasure, the legendary Mother Lode, began to be whispered among the diggers. The Mother Lode, a treasure so
Good luck
great
reading it
that
against the
if it were discovered,
clouds.
it would provide so much power that the world never need fear running out of energy.
Guess they
Seeking
didn't
this Mother
think they
Lode,
needed a
diggers
black
travel from one
order
island to
or
another
whatever.
in their flying machines, ever hoping that they'll find what they seek just over the horizon. Hope, despair, charity, greed, duty, power. Who can say what truly motivates the diggers?
That gas. Um, I purchased this game with my allowance money when I was seven, 7.5 years old at a Costco wholesale that at the time was called
Here we go!
Price Club.
Mega Man? Mega Man? Mega Man? Can you hear me?
Just barely. The transmission isn't too clear.
I got worried because the transmission got cut off suddenly.
I'm okay. I think this is the last door.
I wasn't really aware of what Mega Man was. My Uncle JR had purchased for me Mega Man Battle Network, the original Game Boy Advance title.
Whoa! It's still active. The reactor's still running.
Around 6 or 7 months
What about
before
the
that
refractor?
Christmas.
It's here. It's a big one
I was
too.
playing with my
Oh,
very
right. So
first
maybe
Game
the
Boy
refractor will get some
Advance.
money. Be careful.
Not one that I used too much yet because it didn't have a backlight, but they'd fix that. I would like to say for a moment that for a cutscene for a PlayStation title, this slaps.
I'm okay, Roll. Everything's all right here.
Don't count your chickens yet. I'm picking something up on my screen. Look looks like a Reaver boss. You'd better get out of there. Come on.
Right. If you see anything, let me know. Here we go!
First thing I would like to say is actually something I forgot to say from my first attempted recording. They should absolutely take the voice of Mega Man Volnut in this game and use AI to make it the voice of Mega Man in Mega Man Legends 2. That is all. That is all. That's if they can make the second trilogy of Star Wars look like the first trilogy of Star Wars, I think we would be able to pull this voice change off. Just saying. I didn't really know what to expect when I bought this game, because it was, to me at the time, a really dank piece of cover art for $19.99. It was a greatest hits title, so apparently it was good. That's at least how they were marketing it to me as such. And of course, like all jewel cases in this era of Price Club, it was attached to a very large, long blister pack. That didn't do anything to protect the game. It just kind of protected the sale. Couldn't slip it in your pocket as easily if you were interested in that kind of thing. But I will tell you that it was very hard to cut this blister pack, this surrounding force field, away from the jewel cases that I would purchase from Price Club. This game would turn into what would ultimately be my very first obsession in life, which is the Mega Man Legends franchise. Specifically, the Mega Man Legends franchise, though I very much loved Battle Network. The other ones did not reach me quite as much, but that's not to say they didn't reach me. Just hit me later in life. What we have here is what right off the bat would look like a Doom clone, at least in terms of how the level design and generation seems to work. But you will see that unlike Doom, there are glaring graphical issues with the geometry and how it is that early PlayStation titles handled tessellation. Sometimes you run into little gaps. I think that this is a part of the amazing charm of this era, and also specifically this game, working with some of the weirder limitations of brand new tech being offered. Because what we have here is also the very first transition for the Mega Man series from 2D, bitmapped sequences and titles, right? Games, to 3D. And the way they decided to go about it was a dungeon crawling RPG.
Wait a second. There should be a Reaver bot around there somewhere. Can you see it? It looks like a small one. You should be able to take it down with your Buster Gun.
Now, to translate what previously to this would have been the Mega Man X franchise over to what this is, the Mega Man Legends franchise. You would, if you have any understanding of what Mega Man X is, and maybe you have an understanding of what Legends is, who knows?
Turn right there.
It would seem very, very hard to be able to really take a side-scrolling, like, jump and shoot, jump and shoot, and turn it into a 3D game of any variety is really not that much to work with. Even with the huge marketed, I guess, backstory that comes with each Mega Man universe and time period. But there was something about the Legends series that offered such a huge and profound amount of just of the gargantuan feeling of its world.
Can you see a door nearby?
That I just haven't really seen replicated in a different Mega Man universe. And that's not to say that the other ones aren't huge and very, very, very riddled with lots and lots of weird canonical failures, and or at least what appear to be such. I'm certain we could work
Where
with
are you
them.
going, Mega Man? That's not the right way. I don't like the way that looks.
But it's
Maybe
funny
you better head back.
because what we experience in the Legends universe, unlike all of the other universes in the Mega Man franchise, is a period so far
Be careful, Mega
from
Man.
the
Look,
rest of the history as it exists in the franchise's timeline.
Mega
But
Man,
we'll get into that. But I would say that what we experience here is so different from what it is that we experience in Mega Man games from
It's not far from your current position.
most every position you can take on a video game. But let's
Watch out.
keep going here. There is a look to the Legends series that I have only ever seen accomplished in the Legends series. And again, it looks like Doom in a lot of places, but there is an amount of quality that drips and a character unlike no other that continues to beckon me, as this is a title that wasn't supposed to grip me, I think, as much as it was supposed to. It just happened to find me in an era of my life where I would most would have fucking thought that this was like the coolest shit I've ever seen.
It looked like a Reaver box. We were lucky.
I had a PS2 and PS2 games, I think, when I had purchased this game. So, to kind of be like downgrading when I purchased this game seemed weird. Would even seem weird to me today. But it's not the first time. I mean, it's not the last time that this franchise would do this, because it is one of the most heartfelt, well put together, really fucking good stabs at making a full-scale, open world, open-ended typed universe.
Mega Man, I'm
That
the Reaver box. He's above you. Watch out.
gamers who valued non-linearity, like me, even at 7, just were so fucking pleased to see. Mega Man Legends has potentially one of the largest, it just immediately grew one of the most dedicated cult followings. I don't say the largest, one of the most dedicated cult followings. Like, literally fucking die hard. The people I would intermingle with on forums that I was much too young to be on. Fucking loved this thing as much as I did. Fan websites paid for and curated by fans, just so that more could be accessed about it. Just so that, like, the marketing material that a lot of Americans weren't so fortunate to like see and like have reached them, could get a piece of that. Because, like, you know, as a kid, like, I didn't fucking know what the Reploid Research Laboratory was, and I didn't know that there were like these big like cardstock and like magazine type marketing campaigns that would help flesh out the universe for these titles before they were ever released. And so like that didn't reach in particular myself.
Roll? Are you all right?
But what was amazing was that even when it was that I was playing this without any of that context, I immediately was able to tell, whoa, fuck. I was immediately able to determine, like, a slice of life kind of environment. Like, how would I say it? Like, I saw it all. I saw the whole universe. I had, like, a whole place in mind for, like, every character I had met in the game. I was able to determine what their days at the beach would be. I was able to see their day out on the town, shopping in an uptown. I could see it all. I didn't even, like, watch anime or anything, really, at this time in my life. I'm certain a lot of TV reached me. But, like, it was an adventure that even I could see, like, awesome, like, auxiliary stuff happening in, like, a B, a C, and a D story. Now, I just want to point out the shape of this and just kind of what this might be later on.
Look at that sky. Well, that's have to say that.
I find that
so long. I wonder where Roll went.
These games look different, hit different, play different than any other game that is ever going to come out. Now, the controls in this one aren't the best. I cannot tell a lie. But man, are the cutscenes decent. Fucking imagine the fucking size of that thing. It's just like, idealize this as like a Hyperial image for a moment. What the fuck does that thing look like to you? Like, is that not the most horrifying thing you can imagine? Because I don't want to think about like what that would look like in high fidelity. Keep it the fuck away from me. Damn, and there's another one of them that's not all rusted up and broken down like they are. And it's weird that they are out of maintenance at all. That's there's so many weird, interesting bits of detail that do tell a story in this. And I would argue that the reason that the concept work of this universe, the reason it's so amazing. I'll shut up for a moment.
Mega Man. I'm sorry, Mega Man. I had some engine problems, and
It's okay, Roll. but I'm glad you showed up when you did.
It's obviously
All's well
Miyazaki
that ends well,
inspired.
right? And we were able to get a refractor. We should be able to get by with that for a while. If only the
It
mother lode were as
reeks
easy to find
of
as this.
Miyazaki
Don't worry,
influence.
We'll find it someday.
But
And your parents.
the
too.
design,
Thanks. I know
the
we will.
bitmapped updates on the little monitors,
I guess
the
it's fun.
idealization of it, because it's low fidelity. But even as a kid,
Gramps,
like, you know, you had to have imagination.
we'd better find some place to sit down. Mega Man, check the map.
There's an island called Cadlock, but 100
You
miles
had to
south.
have some imagination. But again, it's almost like the 2.5D thing, right? It looks so stellar. And I also think it's replicable.
Sorry, Gramps, but my hands are a little
Like, if I can get me an AI art generator that can produce for me bitmap textures,
together. Just a little bit more. Hold on. I'm taking her down.
Right.
even I could do something that looks like this. I know how to do most everything we see in this game. But I bet you Unity's changed quite a bit since then. And I certainly will be lacking a polish. So it's just like, if you are good at this kind of thing, or just more experienced than I,
Safe to set foot in here for quite a while.
you have the makings
pushing
for
her so
something
hard.
that
Haven't been taking
will
good
look
enough care
entirely
of her.
unique.
We'll just have to fix her up.
Looks like the repairs aren't going to be finished anytime soon. We'll be here for a while, I guess. This island, what do you call it, Mega Man? Cattle Locks? Must have a town or a city somewhere. Think you could go take a look around?
Catalogs. Now, what's funny about that is that I recently looked into the etymology of the word summer, which I thought was interesting because it sounded like Sumer. I wonder if there was a connection there. It's funny because there kind of was. I think it's summer is Sumerian for the word workhorse, or at least there's an etymological link. Pack horse, horse pack. The idea is like a grain sack that would follow any animal being put to work. So naturally, summer, what we call it, is like a time of harvest, but a time of labor. So naturally, I think it's nice that we give kids off on the summer. That's cool. I think it's a shame if they have to work during it though. Let's let the Popo come, but back onto topic. That was just my mind kind of wandering. I dived in so deep to the fan fictions that were on offer, potentially rather young as a child. But the fan fictions, the fan art, the concept art, all of that reached me. Before any Miyazaki content or anything like that ever reached me, it was the internet and its denizens that had made the Mega Man universe, specifically the Legends universe, such a wild and wonderful place. And we'll be getting more into that. Let's talk to these folks.
Mega Man! The police saw us crash land and came to check up on us.
Well, you certainly put on quite a show. But it looks like everyone's all right. Let me welcome you to Cadillac Island.
That's generally the feeling amongst them, I feel.
Now,
Thanks for
I'd
checking
like
up
to
on
ask
me,
one of you
Popo.
to come with me to
I love
the
y'all.
station.
We need your information and immigration forms so you can get your registration and ID card. You can't enter the city without one.
Don't worry. It won't take very long. While you're waiting,
It's just another example of
spend
the
your time
excellent
in the
community
shopping
policing
arcade next to the
that
city.
Cadillac Island
You don't
is
need an
capable
ID
of
card to
providing.
get in there.
It really
Are you
does
ready
do
to
your
go,
heart
Professor?
good. I believe I spoke with somebody on Facebook who would literally listen to the bird noises here in this overworld area on their headphones at work. At the moment, I thought, well, that's like a little extreme. I was still young. I think I hear exactly what they hear. The Miyazaki influence is absolutely prevalent. Yet this is a title that has a style that is almost entirely its own, with an amazing amount of lore that is suggested to you, and not spelled out. There's a lot of mystery in the Legends universe, for sure. Who are these little folks? The entire franchise slaps. This game is imperfect in a lot of places, and Legends 2 goes to not correct it. Just, this is a concept for what Legends 2 like is. And it's like, in my opinion, like, not just top 3 best PS1 titles, but like, I think it's the single best PlayStation title. It's a hidden, I hate to say it, Celeste fans rejoice, but it's a hidden gem. Even this game is a hidden gem. This game goes to do things that Legends 2 didn't do. This game goes to do things that developers just thought, man, that's fucking cool. Wow, we can do this in 3D. I want to see this. That sounds fucking awesome. Like the interconnection of these sub-ruins across the entire map. This is one of many entrances that are interconnected. You can get to one, you can enter this entrance and exit another, but more importantly, there's main ruins, like main dungeons, that also connect to these fucking sub-ruins. And it's so fucking cool. Oh my god. When I didn't know this as a kid, so like when I open the door to another fucking subroom that I'd already been before, and I'm like, how the hell is this already on my map? And I realize, oh my god, I've been here before. This connects to, like... Again, this is like a play, like, I had a PlayStation 2. I owned PlayStation 2 titles. Let me just make sure it's actually going. I've had horrible luck today. Oh my god, thank god. Oh my god. We're fine. We're fine. I was committed. There's a lot of concepts and things I haven't talked about, unfortunately. Hopefully aren't lost. But I'll try and keep talking, and maybe I get back to them. They're just like 40 to 50 minutes out of sequence. We might be able to corrupt our way back to the other cool stuff that I was realizing. And aren't real until it is that they're caught on camera here. That's the old Pet Scott pledge. That's kind of cool. Yeah. Immediately, this is one of the things I was talking about in recording attempt number 2. No, this is number 4. There is an amount of idealization, again, that only really games of this era, but specifically this series, does better than most any other PlayStation series I've seen, or really just game in general. But the way it is that it utilizes very low res bitmapped textures to insinuate more, to create like that, because like this is just painted on. There's no like depth effect or anything that they're doing with this. It's literally just painted on. But when you look at it like planimetrically, oh my god. And it looks so good. Like even like from like little tilts and shit, it's like, it's good. It's like, look at those pastries. And you really couldn't appreciate the crispness of the bit art when it was on a tube, because it was really fuzzy. I mean, but then there's like other things, like look at her, like really look at that dog. Just watch them turn like high poly all of a sudden. Low poly, she's got weird eyes, and then poop, and then there's an even poop. So it's, and you can even like watch like the doors, like they get big, and you just wouldn't have seen this because they'd done this specifically to consider like how the fuzziness of a tube television that's much smaller than the high resolution screen that's like a 65-inch that's in front of this camera right now. Like, you just never would have been able to see that or notice it. So it's like, it's a whole other layer of art that you get to like kind of appreciate. And it's really a treat, because the folks that made this didn't even really know what the fuck they were doing yet, really, right? But they did such a tremendous job with what they did know how to do, that they made such a colorful, wonderful place. And so the Shopping Arcade is a place that I spent a lot of time in, and still will. I didn't talk to the junk shop lady. I'm gonna collect more money for my good - bad deed we don't get to know of kicking this can into the bakery lady's bakery. It awards me 1,000 zenny, so we might assume that I'm doing a good thing by keeping our streets clean and putting trash in its proper place. I don't know, like, it's Jetlag Bakery. I don't know if it's supposed to be like a burn. Like, were they trying to burn a place? Like, oh yeah, we're putting trash in the Jetlag Bakery. Yeah, I fucking hate that place. Like, hey, Cagey, you fucking remember? Yeah, fuck that bitch. Like, fuck. Oh, a place that sells parts? Like a play? See how deep into this we are. Hey, wow. We're doing good. We're doing good. I'm telling you. I keep telling you. You'll see. All right. So yeah. There was a realization that I made a year or two ago when I was playing Legends 2 that I will try to address in my next Legends 2 video. Yeah, I'll put it that way. Yeah, you got stay tuned. There's nothing y'all can do about it. Go to Baltimore tomorrow, so I'm like, oh great. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna listen to 0.01% of my total YouTube content. It's only a 5-hour drive. Oh, I can't stop myself from kicking the can again. It's something I physically have to do. Ooh, alright. Gotta angle this one right. Uh-oh. Oh my god, we're in the no zone. We're in the no zone. Oh my god. It's happening. Oh my god. Nope. We just gotta go. We have to hang our heads in shame. I can't believe we were just in the no zone. Oh my god. What was that? It's the no zone creatures. It's the Nicole's earlier today. Just put like mirrors in like the columns, and they really do. I don't necessarily know what the true point of these mirrors are, other than maybe like try on clothes and like see them in different angles, but they're just out of the way. But I also feel like they're purposefully put up to like disorient people. And it also makes like the whole place feel like huge at some angles if you're like standing there, right? So I think it's like about like a lot of that. But like Drew just like takes like he just dips around one of these columns, and I see him in the reflection, but not IRL. And so I see it in my periphery too. So I'm just like. And then he just disappears because it's a mirror and it just cuts off from wherever he was actually reflecting at. And I'm like, it's like, Drew, please stop disrupting the mirror creatures. And it sounded Somebody got a laugh out of that. The mirror creatures are indeed very traumatic. You have to be very careful with them and appease them, or else they jump out at you when you're at Kohl's. Yeah, there's a rapid fire trigger or something in this direction. Let's do that. So, as for those steamy fanfics that I was, I went into great detail with it for the other, what I thought was a recording. But in truth, it really does deserve discussion. Potentially the best Legends fanfic I have ever read was a piece called Illogical. And I forget the author's handle, of course. I think I originally found it on Legends Station, but it may have been the other one. There were a few, like, and I don't know if it's still up, because I understand, domain costs and all that. I get it. Server running costs. I mean, you probably all run it on the cloud and all that. I don't fucking know. But regardless, there's a good chance that, like, I haven't been able to find Illogical to reread. With all of my web crawling and, like, maybe I'm at the point where I'd be able to ask, Aurora, and they'd be able to find it for me. But I feel like it's a little bit too vague, even with a Bing search. Hey, I'm just gonna say, this is dumb. Fuck off. Like, damn. They really got me cornered. They really got me cornered. They keep creeping around. Keep creeping. But Illogical, dear God. It's like, dear God, like, I do not want a Kobun, or whatever they're called. They're not Kobuns. That's it. God, I wish they made like an English language naming system for like the Reaverbots, because I don't know any of the Japanese names, and I know they have them. Well, we have strategy. Got him. Fucking got him. Didn't drop the blue boy this time though, makes me sad. Hey, this one dropped health though. Thank you. Oh my God. Dear God, dear God, dear God. Oh my God. What's he doing? He's trying. He's got big shoesies. I don't like it. I was trying to have my documentary time over here. Sir? Doesn't like robosexuals like me. Oh, shit. and on the triangle pyramid space. Perfect. There we go. Yes. Illogical was a wonderful piece, written in first-person perspective of Sarah, the mother unit in Legends 2. Essentially, it's about her kind of coping with a growing sense of something that she herself cannot describe because she is a self-described program, right? Like a unit, an android, an artificial intelligence. And she is essentially being protected by her guardian unit. I don't remember if it's Gats or Geets, or if it was like an invented character for the sake of the fan fiction. But ultimately, it's about her coping with, like, qualia, but like the sensation and the illogical nature of feeling care for her guardian unit, who is, in her understanding, rather cold a lot of times, but that her guardian unit is programmed to sacrifice their life for her if need be, as long as it's for their protection, and that this is the way it's supposed to be and the way that it is. It's not even like, it's just no reason to think about it. But ultimately, it's like this rather kind of tsundere thing. Because she, a cold thinking android AI, is in fact coping with a sense of fear and potential loss after a while, that it is that her guardian unit continuously does save her and does do everything in their power to protect them from what it is that threatens her. And there is like a growing sense of affection, but as like as like an 8 or a 9-year-old, I think, when I'm pouring through this shit, like, and obviously it's after Legends 2 reached me, which is really when like my fan fictioning and fan arting like started, my fan faggotry. It becomes such an important, I think, piece for me, I guess I could say, as to how it was that like even I like could start to perceive such interesting phenomena, right? Because like in the end of the day, it's all bound to context, and for individuals like Sarah, in a lot of ways, she wouldn't have auxiliary purpose outside of the role as proposed for her by the Master System. And if you really think about it, at the end of the day, it's not like any of us carbons have purpose. It's all invented. We're busy scrounging for salvage, trying to make things work. maybe one of us finds something that makes things work for everyone, and maybe we don't need to work as hard anymore. But even that is just a story. Soon may the Wellerman come. Speaking of which, hell yes. This is the best one yet, honestly. Instead of losing my shit after each loss, it really did just get better and better and better. I think it's pretty impressive that I can pull these off. These are not scripted. These are this is just streams of thought. My campaign is unstoppable. I very much miss the person that helped me practice this a lot. Or one of the many. Ah, shit. One of them's asleep right now. I don't know if Addie can bear it. That's why I need this camera time. I really get to shine. Yeah, so naturally though I vibe with Sarah. I think this piece is great. I cannot find illogical anywhere. I've looked. Maybe somebody somewhere might be able to help me with that. I hope to God that, like, the artist hasn't passed, but that's another consideration. It's possible. You know, I was thinking it's like, it's such a good idea, right? And if I can't find it, and I can't find the person who made it, and I can't replicate it, then at that point, very fearfully, it's more mine than anyone's. And I'm not trying to say that it actually is. It's just, it's definitely a part of me. And that's why this video exists. That's one of the reasons I'm saying it. I made sure to bring it up again, just for that reason. Mr. Yes, or Tony, produced another piece that I had perused, I believe, in 2021. It was the big Petscop payoff. That I don't really know if you were down with it. I don't know if that's how you wanted it to go, but the story about the cake, the description of Qualia in a child who was coping with what was a deep and horrible psychopathy. Or I can't even say psychopathy, that's the wrong word. Thank you. Sociopathy. A deep and profound, dark sociopathy that they had to utilize in order to make sense of the world around them. In that deep qualia it was that you utilized to describe what was going through their brain and how their sensations were working. It was funny how much that reminded me of Illogical. And obviously in like a less happy way. But your pieces touched me. Every single one of them, bro. Man. They, them, you. If you are even a you, maybe a them. They're all mine. Eh, eh, eh. Yes, and the hippopotamus, whatever the names, like the selection for hippopotamus was, and I think the Japanese and UK games were much funnier than hippopotamus. Though I do forget exactly what it was. It's a shame. Let's kick the can open again. Oh shit. Yeah. Spent a lot of time with my friends playing this game. This game and a single PlayStation 1 memory card. I believe it was the transparent blue. It's traveled with me a lot. Because a lot of people I knew owned PlayStations. Because why on earth wouldn't you have a PlayStation? The hell? What are you smoking? Get that Kitty N64 shit out of there. We're playing the PlayStation. Pop that optical disc up in that optical drive. This is the future, motherfucker. Yeah, that's right. It's the laser noise for the... personified fear up on that screen. Gonna shit myself real quick, son. Let me go run into the bathroom while I hide from it. I was definitely afraid of personified fear, and the whole PlayStation startup screen scared the piss out of me as a kid. And yes, I would have to run out of the room when it was that it started. So when I learned that it was called personified fear, I may have even said this in a previous video, but fuck it, it's just funny. When I learned it was that song was called personified fear internally, I was like, that is the weirdest fucking thing I've, like, but like, yep, that's it, that's, whew. And yeah, if your disc was scratched or something, there would be a huge feeling of anticipation while the BIOS would load in. And it wasn't intentional or anything, it just really was like this weird, dark, unsettling feeling of, is it gonna work or is something gonna pop out at me for no reason? And this superstition reached so many people. I was not the only one. I didn't hear anything about this being the case, right? That's what's fucking crazy about it. Lots of people ran into this fear of something popping out of them during the personified fear sequence, during a scratch disc loading event. And I just think this is fucking cool. But, like, also, like, yeah, is it understandable? Sure. But it's also, it's like, it's a sync. It's a really weird sync. Something about that PlayStation. something about specifically that PlayStation. It was hard for me not to think of Mega Man Legends when I was playing Petscop. It was, of course, the first resource that I would have thought of.
Mega Man, were you able to find anything? Oh. If you can't find any parts in town, I guess we'll have to try digging for them ourselves.
That's what the man at the junk store said.
That might take a while.
But
Which
it
means-
wasn't the only one.
Huh? Mega
Because
Man,
my
what's
dad
that?
had given me some pretty
looks like a weapon
interesting
upgrade
first
module.
games
Oh, this?
for my
Yeah, the
PlayStation.
junk store man gave it to me.
A lot of them were kind of inherited. A lot of
He
them
said
were
you can
games
use
that he
this
may
car
have
to hook
played
it
on
up.
an earlier system or something that he was
You
curious
mean we can
about.
use this car?
A lot of them were like kind of
Let's get it
throwaway
right away.
games because the person who sold us the PlayStation promised us it would work with our Zenith
There,
TV,
it's ready.
and our Zenith TV had a new issue or an issue
Just drop them in front
that
of an oncoming
the folks who
enemy
made,
and
I guess,
boom.
the video
Just
output
remember,
for
there's a
PlayStation at
limited
the time
number
did
of
not
mines,
have
so
compatibility
make sure you
with.
use
So,
them sparingly.
but the salesman
Do you want
promised
me to
us
explain what
it would
this
work,
weapon does
but it
again?
didn't. I don't think I was alive yet, or I was not conscious yet. I was not tracking a memory. But they just, the way he did it was that he just kept giving them a bunch of free games for a period of months. So it was like, okay, cool, whatever. Dank.
This
One of the
weapon
games
lets
I
you
got
use
was
landmines.
Gumble. I'm sorry,
Just
Gumble.
drop them in front of
Gumble.
the oncoming enemy and boom.
Oh!
Just remember, there's a limited number of mines, so make
It's
sure
all
you use
mine.
them sparingly. Do you want me to explain what this weapon does again?
Fuck no.
I'll get to work on fixing this car up. I'll be able to help you out and maybe spot for you if I can get it running again.
Looking for my spot.
Ah, there you are. I've been looking for you so I could give you this. Your citizen's card. Now you'll be able to use the city gates. Of course, there are some gates that can't be opened, but
Some doors are
What
better
is
left
that?
closed.
pirates. We've received information that indicates there are some headed this way. So as a precaution, we're evacuating the civilians and locking the gates.
Pirates? Our grandfather is still inside the city. Will he be all right?
Well, I'm sure he's heard the announcements about the pirates. If I see him, I'll make sure he gets to a safe place. If you'll excuse me.
I'm worried about Gramps. I hope he'll be okay.
I'll go look for him. You wait here.
Okay, Mega Man. Be careful.
Oh shit. Something's going down. I need to get some upgrades. Always hard to remember quite where I was. I would call it Gubble. Because Gubble was a weird ass fucking looking title. Without like any real story or anything. And it was a bunch of menu systems. Similarly, I Return Fire, which is a 3DO game that was ported to the PlayStation. That's how I played it. It was dank. Like, I don't know if it's a good port or not, but I definitely enjoy Return Fire on specifically the PlayStation. But I guess to go ahead and consider it in the end of the day, like in the long run, this game was definitely a huge piece of what I called to for kind of like, what the hell was I seeing? How how could this thing be so smart? And right, because like, yeah, Petscop, quote, Petscop is not a real game, duh. But the metagame of Petscop is something that is not only real, but gets more macro the more people become aware of it. And for some who don't get filtered, unfortunately, experience the power of the organism, so to speak. But there was just so many things in sync. One of my ideas that I believe I called out, though, may have been kind of close to a truth. It's almost like the ideas of the community were not only being taken into consideration, but were being used as narrative fodder. It was an interactive experience. It continues to be an interactive experience. It is a guidelines as to how it is that you want to look at kind of everything. With huge amount of scrutiny as to what the origin might actually be and what the context is supposed to mean. It is an indeterminate experience as well as an objective one. Just like life, which I'm buying a gauge for. I'm gonna buy one of each. Oh, I see it. Why the hell not? Now let's just make sure. Yeah, we can do better with both of those. Yeah, range for sure. Huge. Let's go. I gotta sneak up on these folks. What a fun time. Oh man, it's Jim. That girl looks suspicious, I tell you. She has to be a pirate. She said she was looking for treasure. No one believes us. We're gonna have to get her ourselves. Hey, someone's spying on us. It's that blue guy again. Huh. Come on, everybody, let's go. N for north, I presume.
Okay, got it? Once the decision's made, there's no turning back. Nothing less than 100%. And remember, it's more than just guns and ships. It's whoever has the most information that wins, right? Right, we understand. You need to keep your costs and risks as low as possible and stay on schedule.
Uh-huh.
That's right. You've got it.
Child labor.
What are you looking at?
However, I definitely do know the feeling of when your little serve bots are on their way to get the job done. Almost got hit by that car. Oh, so we already really upgraded our life gauge. We do not have defense for shit. We ain't got shit. We can read the lore. We can do anything, but we really can't. West is closed. I think we gotta go north again. That bus is gonna start going now, isn't it? Oh my god! All right. Yeah, no car noises, which is kind of lame. I think they may have wanted. This is back to the fucking market, isn't it? That was literally right by the door, too. What else is new? With the amount of fan fiction, fan art, marketing material, and everything that I had gotten myself into with this particular universe. My own universe was heavily expansive. I had like probably a 4-year long running autistic fantasy that I would resort back into in the back of my mind while it was that I was going through elementary school in regards to this game and this series, and it's amazing I'd still get any learning done at all, because all I wanted to do was play this game, and then other ones, sure, but this one was the one that I would think about, this series, all the time. There was something so ideal about it. Oh yes, I'll wait 1 minute. Just like walks right back.
Hey, Mega Man! Come to check up on me, eh? Here, let me introduce you to the mayor of this island, Amelia.
I'm Amelia. Nice to meet you. I'm an old friend of Professor Barrels. I worked as his assistant for a while I was in school.
It's a small world, isn't it?
To tell you the truth, we've gotten reports that there are some pirates headed this way. I was asking the professor if he might have any idea what they're after.
I'll bet anything they're after the legendary treasure supposedly buried on this island.
There are a lot of stories about the treasure, but no one knows exactly what it is. I thought maybe you might know something about it, Professor.
I've been in the digging business a long time, but I haven't been able to find out anything about this island's treasure except legends and myths. Look, Mega Man, I'll be here for a while talking with Amelia. So why don't you go back and keep an eye on Roll? Tell her not to worry about me, okay?
I mean, also, I'm sorry, I didn't call out that Barrel's voice actor is also pretty good. Honestly, the voice acting's just good. Like, that's... for a PS1 title, it was like, what the fuck? Yeah, but I obsessed about this game first. I didn't know...
It's a dog! What's that all about? What? What did I ever do to you?
Got that dog in him. Oh no. Yeah, like... I didn't know about the misadventures of Tron Bonne. I didn't know about Legends 2. I saw this game, I bought it, and suddenly I was dived into a world of mystery, but also it's like this was probably the game that I was playing where I became aware of RPG elements in games. I would brute force my way through these games. Like, it said the other, this will probably go into the meditations playlist because I'm so up and about it. Oh yes, my verbiage is so immaculate. But like, yeah, it's, in the end of the day, I learned about games through brute forcing them, and the boss sequence we were about to trigger.
What are you staring at?
God damn it. The boss sequence that we are about to trigger is... I literally do be knowing cute little dogs like this.
Hey, cut it out! Don't you know you can't treat girls that way? Hey, hold on. Down, boy. Down.
This is probably where the slice of life suggestion comes into play.
You all right?
Tron has a crush on Mega Man because he saved her from a dog.
You just mind your own business.
But also naturally because he's Mega Man and has a heart of gold and shit or some bullshit, I don't know. In the Japanese version, Mega Man merely kicks the dog in the face. Which I'm kind of happy they retcon. In the end of the day, Mega Man is a lover of animals and has an affinity through empathy to talk with them. To the point where they actually understand. He could also get information from them. He full on understands the animals. That is a real power that he has. Don't ask me why. I find that it's definitely true here in the ARG as well, but like, again, I mean, you don't get like text bubbles for it, but affinity with animals, check. Has conversations with animals as well as inanimate objects, check. We got it. We got you covered. Let's go find that data donkey. I don't know if it's out of space yet. It's like I'm just kind of leisurely waiting for it to run out of space. Yeah. There's a big part about the carbon reinitialization program as it is that we see it here in Cadillac Isle that I want to bring up with essentially how the shape of the city matches up with the same shape of the city in Glide Space as seen in Mega Man Legends 2. And just in the, you know, the ending of this game, where it is that we see, you know, the Eden, the Master System Eden satellite drop a payload from, from space essentially, that, slowly descends on Cadillac's downtown. And it's not, we don't know if it's like a detonating payload, or if it has like Reaverbots on board that are going to eject from it, that are going to just like reap bloody hell on the people of Cadillacs, or if it's like a weird thing where people will go into for reinitialization. We don't know what reinitialization is. They call it a great catastrophe. It looks really bad. It looks like a huge end and like a population decrease and to stop overpopulation, right? And this all sounds like poppycock. We'll get there. But is it? Is there specifically, like, I don't remember right now. I could be dead wrong about this, but is there specifically a part where they say that the carbons die when they're reinitialized? It is called reinitialization. Is it like some kind of weird Mass Effect, like, homogenization? It's hard to tell. Let's check the video. Oh, man. Oh, shit, we're still live. I'm having a Pop-Tart. Nothing can stop the Pop-Tarts. It's time for my Pop-Tart. My nightly Pop-Tart. I do have to go to bed. We are going to Baltimore. This is a great take. And I don't care if it ends not so hot. Because this is exactly where I want to be. Discussing with inspiration. No matter what. No matter if my video gets fucked up 3 times. Accurately. And intimately. So. This base that Cadillacs is civilized on, these ruins, are already here. I sometimes wonder if